evening, everyone. Welcome to the February 3rd agenda meeting of South Plainfield Borough Council. This meeting has been advertised in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act NJSA 10:4-6, with adequate notice of this meeting being provided to the borough's two official newspapers and also published on the borough's website. Ms. Suter, will you call the roll, please?
Councilman Benjamin.
Here.
Councilman Diana.
Here.
Councilman Richards.
Here.
Councilman Rushnet.
Here.
Councilman White.
Here.
Council President Barletta.
Here.
Mayor Nesh.
Here. Carmel, you want to take us through a review of tonight's agenda?
On the agenda this evening, we have one item on for public hearing, one item for executive session, two proclamations, the approval of the minutes from January 4th reorg, January 13th agenda and public meeting, two ordinances for final adoption, and one for introduction. Then we have 17 resolutions, the correspondence is being available.
Excellent. Glenn, did we hear from Len regarding the release of the performance bond? Is it in order reporting now? Anybody know?
He said that everything was in order specifically.
We use the lifeline.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll talk about that later.
First, can I get a motion for executive session tonight?
So, second.
Motion by Councilman White, seconded by Councilman Benjavanga. Rosnick, Councilman Rosnick. All in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? Okay, we will have executive session for personnel, civil service job titles, and promotional advancements. Any council comments on agenda items?
Yes, Mayor, just briefly, and this is something that's come up before in previous meetings regarding tax appeals. I know we have a bond refinance here. Obviously, 1462 JSM or JMSM is a circumstance that nobody could have possibly envisioned and one that must be dealt with. I just ask that hopefully the council does address the continuing tax appeal issue, because I think we can all acknowledge that it's probably not going to go away anytime soon. And that's all, Mayor.
Thank you. Anyone else? That's okay.
Lifeline worked, performance bond is in order.
Performance bond is in order. All right, before we jump back to that, any other council comments on agenda items?
I have one. With the resolution for the waiving of the fees for high school, being involved with the schools, I guess it's really a question for the lawyer if I have to recuse myself if it's anything with the schools.
I would.
Okay.
So we'll separate 1451 out and voting. Okay, anyone else? Okay. Any council comments regarding the release of the performance bond?
Nothing from you guys.
Seeing none. Okay, is Michael, is that you out there?
Yes.
Okay. We're good. You'll be on the agenda tonight. You're more than welcome to stay. Other than that, you're all set. Yeah. So we have no objections or questions for you. It'll be on the regular public meeting.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Have a good day.
Enjoy. Thank you.
Drive safely.
Clean our cars off.
Since we're letting you go early. That brings us to public comments on agenda items only. Any non-media? Okay. We'll close the public portion. I'll ask for an adjournment of the agenda meeting.
Second.
Okay, we are adjourned. Seeing no reason to delay, we'll go right into the public meeting. Again, this meeting has been advertised in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-6, with adequate notice of this meeting being provided to the borough's two official newspapers and also published on the borough's website. Ms. Suter, will you call the roll, please?
Councilman Benjamin.
Here.
Councilman Diana.
Here.
Councilman Richards.
Here.
Councilman Rushnet.
Here.
Councilman White.
Here.
Council President Barletta.
Here.
Thank you. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance and the invocation by Councilman Diana.
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Father, please look over the borough of South Plainfield and all its residents, particularly in times when we have this difficult weather. Please keep all the public employees safe, including DPW, and continue to look over the borough. Amen.
We have two proclamations on for tonight. The first is for National Wear Red Day, which will be held February 7th, 2014, National Wear Red Day for Women, whereas disease of the heart are the nation's leading cause of death and stroke, is the fourth leading cause of death, and whereas cardiovascular disease claims the lives of nearly 420,000 American females each year, approximately 1 death per minute, and nearly 52% of all deaths due to cardiovascular disease and 60% of stroke deaths occur in females. And whereas too many women die each year because they are unaware of that heart disease is their #1 killer, and nearly as many women die of heart disease, stroke, and other cardiovascular diseases than the next 4 leading causes of death combined, including all cancers. And whereas February is designated as American Heart Month, and February 1st will mark the 11th anniversary celebration of National Wear Red Day for Women, and whereas Go Red for Women is American Heart Association's national movement and call to increase awareness about heart disease, the leading cause of death for women, and to inspire women to take charge of their heart health and reduce the risk for heart disease and stroke. And whereas all women should learn their own personal risk for heart disease using tools such as the American Heart Association's My Life Check, Go Red for Women Heart Checkup, Go Red Better You, and by talking to their healthcare provider. And whereas taking action and making the right choices relating to proper nutrition, physical activity, and other healthy lifestyle choices are essential to living a heart-healthy life. And whereas by choosing to improve heart and stroke health, American Heart Association's Go Red for Women asks that across America, women go red and help save lives from heart disease and stroke. Now, therefore, I, Matthew P. Nash, Mayor of the Borough of South Plainfield, in recognition of the importance of the ongoing fight against heart disease and stroke, do hereby proclaim Friday, February 7th to be the 11th anniversary of National Wear Red Day for Women in the Borough of South Plainfield, and urge all citizens to show their support for women and the fight against heart disease and stroke by commemorating this day by wearing the color red. By increasing awareness, speaking up about heart disease and stroke, and empowering women to reduce their risk for cardiovascular disease, we can save thousands of lives each year. And as we've done for several years now, the borough will be collecting donations for the American Heart Association, and we will be doing that, as we said, on Friday. You guys are all more than welcome to partake in that. We will take a photo like we've done, I think, for the last several years in the council chambers Friday morning. And last year, I know Ann, my secretary, has spearheaded a lot of this over the last couple of years. Last year, we were the #2 municipality out of the entire state of New Jersey in raising funds for this cause. So congratulations to Ann, and thanks to everyone who's contributed over the last couple of years.
And Mayor, just,
Yes.
that was without even the private donations.
That was without the private donations, right?
The donations actually from the borough employees.
Correct. Borough employees, and I think we matched it using some of the money from the weddings, and then we had Mr. Morris also.
Yeah, but it missed.
That wasn't including in the
wasn't
borough's
including
total.
any
That
of
was a separate check, correct. As we did when we took that photo, we put that up on Facebook and encouraged people to like it, and had a monetary donation for that. So looking for another successful year in 2014. The second proclamation is for National Black History Month. Again, we've done this for the last several years as well. National Black History Month is also in February 2014, and whereas Black History Month, also known as African American History Month, is the annual celebration of achievements by Black Americans and a time for recognizing the central role of African Americans in U.S. history, and whereas Black History Month was started by historian Carter G. Woodson in 1926 and was called Negro History Week. His goal was to educate the American people about African American history, focusing on African Americans' cultural backgrounds and achievements. And whereas since 1976, every U.S. president has officially designated the month of February as Black History Month and designated a specific theme to highlight the contributions that African Americans have made in every field, from science and arts to politics and religion. And whereas this year's theme, Civil Rights in America, honors African Americans and encourages all Americans to study and reflect on the values of their contributions to the nation. And whereas Black History Month provides a time for all Americans to recognize and remember the struggles of African Americans for freedom and equal opportunity. Now therefore, I, Matthew P. Nesh, Mayor of the Borough of South Plainfield, do hereby proclaim the month of February as Black History Month in the Borough of South Plainfield and encourage all residents to join me in celebrating the diversity and character of our community and to continue to work towards the ideals of equality, freedom, and opportunity that our country represents. We do have a couple of folks that Mr. Calvin Gross and Mr. Robert Hughes who serve on our Recreation Commission and also our Zoning Board. And joining me will also be Councilman White. So, you gentlemen, you want to come up and accept the proclamation on behalf of the borough?
He calls me up and says, "This is your favorite mayor."
Yes.
Taking two. He's taking 5. One more.
Yeah. Put some light on it. Good.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for coming out. Yeah, we'll have to give you another copy, but you want to take that one.
I didn't see you over there. Robert, how are you?
Thank you once again, gentlemen. At this point, can I get a motion for the approval of council minutes for January 4th reorganization, January 13th agenda, and January 13th? Public.
January 4th.
Okay. Can we first get a motion for the January 4th reorganization council minutes?
Second.
Motion by Councilman Rosnick, seconded by Council President Barletta. Amy. Ms. Suter, can you pull the roll, please?
Councilman Benjamin. Councilman Diana.
Yes.
Councilman Richards.
Yes.
Council President.
Yes.
Councilman White.
Yes.
Council President Barletta.
Yes. Thank you. Can I also get a motion for the January 13th, 2014 agenda and public meeting minutes?
So moved. Second.
A motion by Council President Barletta, seconded by Councilman Benjavanga. Ms. Suter, can you pull the roll once again?
Councilman Benjamin.
Yes.
Councilman Diana.
Yes.
Councilman Richards.
Yes.
Councilman Rosner.
Yes.
Councilman White.
Yes.
Council President Barletta.
Yes. Thank you. At this point, I will open the meeting to public comment on agenda items only. Yes.
I want to ask a question. No one else is here, right?
A couple here.
After you take the picture and you put it on Facebook, are you going to equal the money that the likes are, like you did last year?
We think we will do something.
The pressure's on.
Well, let's put it this way. Yeah, thanks. The mayor's going to write a check.
Too good of a job.
Not often on
We'll
speech,
ask
right?
Mr. Morris to come back.
Hey, that wasn't expected, right? We, because of the snow, we put a ruler in the snow out there just to see how much it was, right? And I think it was at that point about 5.5 inches. We put that on the Borough Facebook page.
That's probably about 5,000 views.
We got about 5,000 views, so
I was about 15.
yeah. So we got to kind of.
$10 a pop, that's not too bad.
Yeah, no, that's not bad at all. We'll definitely be the #1 municipality. We are looking to do something, yes. So we haven't figured out what it was.
Okay.
But we will put the photo on and we'll announce it, but yeah, we're gonna look to raise money again somehow that way.
Okay, my second question is on the bond,
Mhm.
$1,010,000. It's a funny number. Is
Yeah.
that going to cover everything, or do you have is there something in there for
That-
this year?
Well, we will budget separately for items for this year. We budgeted last year $300,000 for tax appeals. I'm expecting a similar budgetary amount this year. The largest, these are appeals that have already, this isn't prospective, these are appeals that already we've either approved or we have judgments. The largest of which is the Motorola building. The Motorola building alone is, I think, $550,000 just for that one building. That building, if everybody knows the history, I believe at one time it was assessed at a value of over $40 million, and it sold this year for about $4 million. So that has just been, we don't have the borough's never had the capacity to budget because, obviously, this has been discussed a lot, where you're refunding not only the borough portion of the property taxes, but the school board as well. So we just have some very large, in this number, we have $550 from Motorola, and actually, this isn't Morris as the current owner, this is the previous owner. And we have a bunch of large ones, another $140,000 for Home Depot, and then, I can go in, Harmich, $74,000, Realty Associates, $74,000. So you add it all up, and it's actually $1 million.
So you used the 300,000 already, and this is.
Yeah, we used
this
the
is beyond the
300,000.
300,000.
This is beyond the 300,000 that was spent last year. As a matter of fact, last year we budgeted 300,000. We actually had refunds of over 450,000. That extra 150,000 is the direct charge against borough operations.
Mhm.
So even in last year's budget, we didn't. It turned out at the end we ended up not having the full amount. Yeah.
So this is all for last year's,
These are all last year's.
okay. so-
Last year's
I
and the
see
two
there's
and,
one-
and the
there's
two
one-
and the ones that are on tonight. I think.
Oh, and the ones that are on tonight, because I
Correct.
did see there was another
Yes,
one on
right.
tonight.
There's
so
two on tonight.
Up to date, how's that sound?
Yes, up to date. Mostly last year, but up to date.
Okay, all right, that's it, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, seeing none, we will close the public portion.
Definitely a story.
Move on to ordinances for final adoption. Ordinance number 1996. An ordinance amending the Articles 2 and 5 of the zoning ordinance of the Borough of South Plainfield. Can I get a motion?
So moved. Second.
A motion by Council President Barletta, seconded by Councilman Benjavanga. As this is a final adoption, we will open open it up to the public for comments on ordinance 1996. Seeing none, we will close the public portion and ask for council comments regarding ordinance 1996.
No,
Thank you.
Hey, seeing none. Ms. Suter, can you call the roll, please?
Councilman Benjavanga.
Yes.
Councilman Diana.
Yes.
Councilman Lucas.
Yes.
Councilman Resnick.
No.
Councilman White.
Yes.
Council President Barletta.
Yes.
5-1.
Yeah.
Thank you. Also, ordinance 1997, also for final adoption, and ordinance rezoning property commonly known as 1620 New Durham Avenue and 1626 New Durham Avenue as being designated to be in an M2 zone. As this is also for final approval, I will open it up to public comments on ordinance 1997. Correct.
Nothing.
Seeing none, I'll close public portion. Actually, can I get a motion for ordinance 1997?
So, second.
A motion by Councilman Benjavanga, seconded by Councilman White. Why not open it up again for public comments on ordinance 1997? Seeing none, close public portion. Council comments regarding ordinance 1997? Seeing none, Ms. Suter, can you call the roll, please?
Councilman Benjavanga.
Yes.
Councilman Diana.
Yes.
Councilman Lucas.
Yes.
Councilman Resnick.
Yes.
Councilman White?
Yes.
Council President Bartlett?
Yes.
Thank you. 6-0. Ordinance 1998 for introduction, a refunding bond ordinance providing for payment of amounts owing to others for taxes levied in and by the Borough of South Plainfield in the County of Middlesex, New Jersey, appropriating $1,010,000 therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $1,010,000 bonds or notes of the Borough for financing the cost thereof. Can I get a motion for ordinance 1998?
So
Second.
Motion by Councilman Benjavanga, seconded by Councilman White. Ms. Suter, can you call the roll for ordinance 1998?
Councilman Benjavanga?
Yes.
Councilman Diana?
Yes.
Councilman Richards?
Yes.
Councilman Resnick?
Yes.
Councilman White?
Yes.
Council President Bartlett?
Yes.
Thank you. Resolutions, can I get a motion, for, other than, we're going to separate 14-51, are there any others that need to be separated? Okay. In that case, can I get a motion for resolution 14-51?
So, second, Mayor.
Motion by Council President Barletta, seconded by Councilman White. Amy. Ms. Suter, can you call the roll, please?
Councilman Benjavanga?
Yes.
Councilman Diana?
Yes.
Councilman Richards?
Recused.
Councilman Resnick?
Yes.
Councilman White?
Yes.
Council President Bartlett?
Yes.
Thank you. Resolutions 14-52 to 14-67. Can I get a motion?
So moved, Mayor. Second.
A motion by Councilman White, seconded by Councilman Richkus. Ms. Suter, can you call the roll, please?
Councilman Benjavanga?
Yes.
Councilman Diana?
Yes.
Councilman Richards?
Yes.
Councilman Resnick?
Yes.
Councilman White?
Yes.
Council President Bartlett?
Yes.
Okay, we have 8 items of correspondence: Environmental Commission monthly report, Recycling Commission monthly report, Business Advisory Group minutes, Middlesex County Planning Board minutes, Health Advisory Board minutes, Environmental Commission minutes, Planning Board minutes, and a thank you note to the DPW for storm cleaning. Can I get a motion on the correspondence?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilman White, seconded by Councilman Benjavanga. Ms. Suter, can you call the roll?
Councilman Benjavanga?
Yes.
Councilman Diana?
Yes.
Councilman Richards?
Yes.
Councilman Resnick?
Yes.
Councilman White?
Yes.
Council President Bartlett?
Yes.
Thank you. Item number 12, payment of the bills for $1,623,620.47. Can I get a motion?
So moved, Mayor.
Second.
Motion by Councilman White, seconded by Councilman Benjavanga. Ms. Suter, can you call the roll?
Councilman Benjavanga?
Yes.
Councilman Diana?
Yes.
Councilman Richards?
Yes.
Councilman Resnick?
Yes.
Councilman White?
Yes.
Council President Bartlett?
Yes.
Paul, anything for us tonight? Thank you. Mr. Cullen, anything for us tonight?
Mayor, I just wanted to direct you to the correspondence, thanking Public Works
Mhm.
from a Maureen Rinkavich. I guess it's her first year in the borough, and she was thanking for the work that they did. And if you look at the very end of her letter, which I think is dated January 30th, she says, hopefully February will be a better weather month than January. So I appreciate that, Ms. Rinkavich's optimism, but obviously we've had a very difficult, a big storm today. We're expecting one tonight, and I guess over the weekend. Actually, to use CJ's word, I think it's in some venues it's being said it may be an epic storm. So. So far, I think Public Works are going to be out all night tonight. I know today you had some interviews. We've had 35 pieces of equipment out. The guys have really put in a lot of time, and I think they've done a good job. But we could use a break.
And perhaps we'll check in with Ms. Rinkavich and see how we're doing tonight. Hopefully, it is challenging. Glenn, you and I were out there several hours throughout the entire borough, and epic, we'll see, but certainly this is not the storm that we had over the last couple of storms, which were much lighter. This is a mess. Hopefully none of the residents saw me, but this afternoon, after finally coming back from the borough, I was out there knocking my bushes with a shovel. Some of those evergreen bushes, when they get all the snow kind of hen. Okay, so we're seeing an awful lot of snow on these limbs, and hopefully everything holds up and it starts to clear out, because that has me a little worried.
Well, and the other, just, and I know this is gonna come up from a budgetary standpoint, we did in December start to dip into our reserves, because we had a fairly busy December, which is somewhat unusual, so a lot of this is gonna be budgeted this year.
Budget was correct. Okay, thank you. Carmel, anything for us tonight? No? Hanging in there? Perfect. Councilman Diane?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. A few things from the Environmental Commission. They have finalized their grant application for the environmental resources inventory, so hopefully that comes out well for us. That was a substantial amount of money, and the only way that project is going to get done is with the grant. So hopefully that comes out well. And also tonight we had on the agenda 1456, another grant application to ANJAC for deer fencing. We did deer fencing last year. It looks great down in Highland Woods. It looks great. And they're hoping to have another grant to do some more deer fencing out there, which would help with the vegetation and grow some new and diverse plant life. And finally, I just wanted to say thanks to the DPW tonight, that they do continue to do a great job. With Carmela here, it's more appropriate. My street was very clean. My neighbors were wondering why the Democratic councilman's driveway kept getting plowed in and nobody else's. But they're going to have a long week ahead of them. So again, a great job to them, and I'd like to keep up the good work. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Carmelo, I'm glad you got my message.
We were going to close the street down.
Yeah.
Councilman Rusnick.
Progress, man.
Thank you. Councilman Benjavenga.
Just want to thank the council for supporting 1460 and allowing the administrator to initiate an intergovernmental transfer from the police officer down. He used to be with the borough. Very good officer with the borough. We obviously have 3 retirees last year. So hopefully, cross the fingers, we'll bring him here and he'll be ready to go. So thanks for that progress.
I agree. Thank you. Councilman Richkis.
Just a reminder, with Recreation and Ponytail Comedy Night, I think there's just a couple tickets left. I know they're going pretty quick. That's going to be Saturday, February 8th. Officially, we are between the winter solstice and spring equinox. This is just the halfway point. So let's hope that we get a little less snow, but it's not looking that way for the second half. I really got to thank my neighbors, Ed Kaz and the Marstons, Steve and his son Ryan. Helped, it was a neighborhood just helping each other, just digging everybody out, combining up the snow blowers and shovels and just going house to house. It was neat to see. And really, I got to thank those guys with that progress.
Thank you. Councilman White.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Just one thing regarding the New Jersey Small Business Administration. Been in contact with them, so we're going to be partnering over the next few months and trying to figure out what assistance they can give to small businesses in the borough and what tools and avenues they have that we can explore. So I'm looking forward to working closely with them and with that progress, Mayor.
Thank you. Council President Bartlett.
Yes, Mayor. Just briefly, again, I just want to reiterate what everybody's saying about DPW. I was with Bobby today, and he really takes it to heart, the job that he does. He does an outstanding job, and Carmel and everyone down there and all the subs working very hard to keep the streets clean. And it is a challenge, as you said, Mayor, and with snowfall like this. But just must say thank you for the job that you did with that progress.
Thank you. Just a couple of items. We already mentioned Go Red, so again, I encourage you to participate. If you can stop by the borough, please do. If you want to make a donation, you can do that as well. Like I said, Ann is handling that, and we're hoping to top last year's. I think last year's was just under $750. So we'll hopefully do that. We do have a ribbon cutting. The weather permits this coming Sunday. New salon will be opening near Walgreens, so we expect that. I think that's Sunday.
Sunday.
Yep. So they'll be opening. Many of you know already that the 7-Eleven on Park Avenue is opening. They are looking to finalize their ribbon cutting. They're looking for a little bit nicer weather, but they are open. Feel free to visit them. And the Spring Health Fair. Debbie, I know you'll remind me of the date. I'm slipping it right now. Building off the success that we've had on the October Health Fair, the committee thought it would be a good idea to focus on a little bit of a different idea. But again, a health fair that will be held in the senior center within the next month or so, early March.
4/26.
4/26, that was close. April 26th. So save the date, April 26th. We encourage you guys all to attend. We will look to have some additional vendors there as well. Obviously no flu shots, but we will have a lot of the same screens, and we will also look to raise some additional funds for some worthy causes in April as well. So with that...
Mayor, if I could just,
yes.
one more save the date, I forgot, also from the Environmental Commission, April 19th, spring cleanup. So put that in your calendars.
Okay. April 19th will be spring cleanup. And CJ, I'm not sure if you're aware, I was just speaking with Glenn before the meeting. We have, I've got the request for renewing the interlocals. But just, if you had a chance, just check with Alice.
Yeah,
It's been a long day already. These are the one, I wouldn't see any reason why we wouldn't be renewing these. These are the paint recycling, the electronics recycling, but I will ask, just make sure we're all set with that, and we'll look to execute those and get them over to the county for them to execute their copies. And with that progress, and I will open up the meeting to the public. Disputes.
Good evening, everyone.
Maybe.
Chrissy Butis, 434 Lucy Court. I know Nancy asked this question. I'm sorry, Glenn, I didn't hear your response. Just clarification on ordinance 1998 with the refunding. Is it simply a refunding, or are you adding in more?
No, it's a refunding of appeals that have already been approved.
Okay.
So it's not prospective. It's not something in the future that we think we're getting. We're going to be budgeting for the ones in the future.
No anticipatory budget.
Correct.
Okay, I wasn't sure if you had said that one of the resolutions, 1462, was being covered by ordinance 1998. That, I guess, I thought I heard you.
Yes, there's two on here that we approved, the council approved the settlement for 1462, which is by JSN, which is Morris's property over on South Clinton and one of the Adler properties.
Okay, so those judgments are being covered
Those are also in here, correct,
by the bond.
by the bond, those two,
Okay,
yes.
so it's not just the refinancing, you're covering the settlement agreements in the bonding ordinance.
They're all set.
That's good.
Okay, you're covering new settlement agreements in the current refinancing of the bond.
I don't know what that means.
You're not, okay, so you're covering the tax appeals by
Right.
right. Okay, got it. That's
It's not
fine.
These two,
No.
unfortunately, we're gonna have more this year, I'm sure. I would expect us to budget a very similar amount that we budgeted last year this year.
All right, thank you. That helped, thanks.
Okay. You're welcome. Anyone else? Yes, Mr. Gross. A little squeaky.
Real sweet. I happen to live temporarily on Kenyon Avenue right now while my house is being renovated. And I know there's a difference from living on a dead end for 37 years to the couple of months I've been living on Canyon. But the speed of the vehicles coming down Canyon is a gamble.
Yeah.
I don't know what you can do about it. I don't know if it's a sign, I don't know if it's a speed bump. But one morning I opened up the blinds and there were 7 emergency vehicles. They were trying to extricate this person who came around the curve coming off of Cedarbrook, hit the pole, then came back across. And that's just an example. But the other drivers coming from the Plainfield direction,
Yes.
didn't slow down, didn't give the emergency responders any break. It was, I had to stand there and watch it because I said, well, at least I could be a witness to, because the backs were turned and people just wouldn't slow down, and it was precipitated with snow.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's something you can do.
I mean, we have spoken with Chief Parker about this. I mean, we're not looking to put speed humps all over the town, and if we've, proven that we haven't, it hasn't exploded. This may be a candidate. I know Councilman Benjavanga chairs the,
Well, there's two going in front of traffic safety. The one with
Exactly.
Seabrook was approved as far as the study goes.
Right.
And then we just got a request, a petition in from Kenny, which would
Right.
also, so now, I was supposed to bring it to my last traffic safety meeting, but it was canceled because of the last snowstorm. So our next one is this month, and that's when we'll discuss it. They'll do their study and then recommend to the council. Then it's up to the council to then
Trying to back out.
There's an issue on Kenyon, Central, and Field. And the cars come down those streets, I can't believe how fast they're going. I live on Field. There's times I'm outside, and I have a shovel in my hand, and one of these days, I'm just gonna throw it into the street. Because it's just ridiculous the
Well,
way.
Broadway
some of
has,
these
the
drive.
people don't slow down for those.
I see them coming from the Plainfield area, just because what happens is there's a 7-block run with no stop signs.
Yeah.
And I asked if we could at least put a stop sign halfway through, just to at least try to slow it down.
Right.
Because when they get down, and I'll just talk on Field, and get down a Rawway, they hit their brakes, and now they're bouncing to stop. It's unbelievable what goes on. I know Parker has had people out there doing with radar and so on and so forth, but they can't be there, 24 hours.
Well, even people who make the right turn off of Broadway, I'm about the third house in that I'm renting a third house in. The speed that they hit, by the time they get to the third house,
It's
A lot of them don't even stop.
and then the curve is right around, I don't understand the logic of doing that.
There is no logic. That's the problem with these people.
A lot of it can't be explained. In fact, Glenn can tell you today, we were on Glen and Durham Avenue or whatever.
Yeah, we're on Durham.
But we were, and with the snow, this is probably around noontime or whatever, all afternoon, and we just saw a guy flying like you wouldn't believe. I mean, and this is with the snow-covered road. Sometimes you just don't get it. But yeah, I mean, we're going to look at the different measures, and there's something that.
Okay, I'm halfway back to Ralph Avenue, and I'm going to be happy about that.
Yeah, it's been brought up recently by a couple. I think the reason why we're looking at the speed humps is, like Councilman Benjavanga said, there's been a petition by some of the residents over there. So that's the reason why we are looking into it as well.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else? Okay, with that, I will close the public portion. We are going into executive session. You are more than welcome to stay. We will be back hopefully shortly.